Welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive into the history of New Delhi. And, it often strikes people as quite a modern city.
Right, something mainly from the 20th century.
Exactly. But the sources we've been looking at, well, they paint a very different picture. There are some incredibly deep roots here.
Absolutely. I mean, New Delhi itself, the official city, yes, 1931. But the ground it's built on, that's seen millennia of history.
Yeah.
It's quite layered.
So 1931 is just one chapter, really. The materials push things back much further. We're talking ancient times.
Yeah, way back. What's really fascinating is the mention of Indraprastha.
Ah, the legendary city from the Mahabharata.
That's the one. It connects this area to, well, ancient epic traditions. And then there's this idea, that Delhi is actually a composite of maybe 7 older cities.
7 cities, built by different dynasties, one after another.
Sort of stacked on top of each other, historically speaking. It gives you this incredible sense of depth, doesn't it?
It really does. Okay, so from that almost mythical past, the sources shift focus a bit, moving into the medieval era.
Right, to the Delhi Sultanate and then the Mughal Empire. Big players in the city's story.
And their presence isn't just in history books, is it? It's tangible.
Oh, absolutely. You can still see it. The forts, the mosques, they're still standing. They're not just ruins. They're, like, direct links back to that time. Silent witnesses.
Telling stories of power, culture. You can almost feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a major pivot point mentioned. 1911, the British decide to move the capital.
Yeah, from Calcutta to Delhi, a really significant move.
Why Delhi, though? Calcutta was the hub for so long.
Well, Calcutta was very much tied to the East India Company, trade, that sort of thing. Delhi, it had this imperial resonance. It had been the capital for powerful empires before.
So it's symbolic, a way to connect their rule to India's past.
Exactly. It projected authority, a sense of legitimacy, maybe even permanence, even as a colonial power.
Interesting. And out of that decision comes the New Delhi we sort of picture today, designed by Lutyens and Baker.
Yes, and the notes really emphasized the design itself. It wasn't accidental.
You mean the layout, the big buildings.
Precisely. Those wide boulevards, the grand scale of everything, that whole axis from Rashtrapati Bhavan, the Viceroy's house, then down to India Gate.
That powerful visual line.
It was all architecture as a statement of, well, enduring imperial might.
A very deliberate visual language.
Yeah,
Okay, fast forward a few decades. 1947, independence.
a pivotal moment.
And New Delhi, this city designed by the British, becomes the capital of independent India. That's quite the irony, isn't it?
It is a fascinating transition, but it also shows Delhi's enduring importance strategically and symbolically. It just sort of absorbed that role, inheriting all those historical layers we've talked about.
Which brings us to today. The material talks about this coexistence, ancient ruins right next door to bustling modern life.
Yeah, like the energy you feel in Connaught Place compared to the, quiet history you find in Lodi Gardens.
That contrast seems key.
It really defines the city, I think. It's not just a modern capital. It's a living timeline where all these different eras are sort of constantly bumping up against each other. They really shape its character today.
So the big takeaway then is New Delhi isn't just new. It's this incredibly layered place, a kind of living historical record.
Absolutely. A timeline you can walk through.
Which leaves us with a final thought, maybe. How do all those visible layers, the ancient bits, the Mughal structures, the colonial architecture, how do they all feed into the actual spirit, the identity of Delhi today?
That's a great question. What stories are those stones still telling, right? If you just kind of listen.
Something for us all to think about. Thanks for walking us through that.
My pleasure. Fascinating stuff.